frosty putter.
All right, do it again.
Ready?
We're back again.
We're back
Cue up
now.
Yeah, this time for real. Cue up the Kentucky Derby. Oh, that's the horse that just jumped in. This reminds me of like those.
Beautiful.
Perfect. We own none of that stuff. We're back live. Apparently, someone put the wrong battery pack in the camera. I don't want to fingers at anybody who's wearing a pink hat or anything like that.
We got caught up in the moment. A lot going on here today.
I'm not gonna lie. This is my 18th mint julep. So
at 9 a.m. on a Wednesday.
Yeah. So we'll recap everything we just talked about for the last 4.5 minutes. We definitely need a mint julep, the official drink of the Kentucky Derby.
That's right. Here
These are
9:22 a.m. on a Wednesday.
Yeah, these are the Basil Hayden versions. Sorry, Kentucky Derby. We know the Woodford Reserve.
Yeah,
they're sponsoring the 150th Run for the Roses.
150th. Yep.
150 years of horse racing.
Great.
So
$5 million purse on the line.
$5 million.
Yep.
You have that in my back pocket.
Yeah.
But all right. So mint julep, the official drink, right? Bourbon, simple syrup, a little bit of mint. Enjoy it. If you're in Kentucky and it's like 100 degrees with 100% humidity, and you're wearing one of these hats, that has to be one of the most refreshing drinks.
I'm sure it is.
All right. Cigars, very important piece of horse racing too, right?
Absolutely.
All right. I love that.
Needed those.
If you guys don't know, this is Nick. He's essentially co-host of the show at this point. Every third week he's on here. And he is the GOAT of equestrian properties in this area.
Yeah.
So we could not have Kentucky Derby week without bringing on the GOAT of equestrian.
Well, been in families in the horse racing circle. So we sold a horse track, Balmoral Park, and Crete. We sold that. So, I mean, we got a little bit of an in what's going on. So, a little bit.
You guys know a little bit about horse racing.
A little bit about horse racing.
I love it. I love that.
Yep. My dad's a fourth generation jockey. So, just a little bit.
So, your family's fourth generation.
Yep.
So, you guys have almost been there since the beginning of the Kentucky Derby.
I guess you could say that.
If I'm not a mathematician.
Yeah, we have to go back, but yeah, my dad's 62, still driving horses. So,
all right,
his dad was a jockey. His dad before him was a jockey, and then his dad before him. That's where it started, and I'm breaking the chain.
So, but his mother was a mutter.
Yeah.
His father was a mutter.
Yep.
That horse loves slop. We didn't pull up the weather forecast. We'll have to check on that here too as we kind of go through this.
Yep.
So, 150th race. That's going to be what 5:30 or 5:27 or 6:27 Central Time.
Yeah, I think it's 5:30 our time. I think it's 5:30.
The most exciting 2 minutes of sports.
Yep, that's what they call it.
All right. What else do we got? Tell us a little bit about more of this history of the Kentucky Derby. I think you have some great stats for people that want to maybe put a bet in.
I have a couple stats. So a lot of horse racing betting, you know what I mean, is not known for everybody out there. So everybody's trying to hit big. So we got. Since 2010, I got a couple stats here. The average $1 trifecta. Any idea what that paid out? The average $1 trifecta.
$1 try.
$1
I would
trifecta
say
is 3 horses in a row to finish first, second, or third. You can either box that so they can finish in any order, or they can finish straight.
I would say
this is a straight bet.
$54.
That's it. You're way up.
Way up.
So the average $1 payout since 2010 of the Kentucky Derby has been $4,150 and some change
on a $1 try.
On a $1 try. So we can make some money here this week. This is not financial advice for me, by the way, but all right. $1. I mean, what is that? What is that markup there? I got no idea.
Yeah, I couldn't even do that math on that. That's better than playing blackjack, I'm sure.
Yeah, winning that blackjack.
Probably better than crypto.
Yep.
And I'm going to say that $1 investment there probably better than your return on investment on real estate too.
I would say if you're going to put $100 worth of bets in today on DraftKings, why not put $101 bets on a trifecta to hit?
Exactly. So with a trifecta, right? So and we'll probably talk a little bit more about horse races, their odds, and all of that stuff. So for odds to be like that, that means that more often than not, there's probably a long shot horse in there coming in second, more than likely.
Yeah,
maybe
second,
even first.
Second, third, could be first. So I actually do have the largest payout within that time.
All right, let's hear that.
So I don't know what you know about horse racing. Do you watch Kentucky Derby regularly, or
I
just kind
do.
of something that's on and you're drinking?
I do. I watch it regularly.
Yep.
And I really, I do enjoy going to a couple different places in the Chicagoland area, Stony Point being one of them.
Stony Point's a good spot.
And they have great food, and you can casually put in a couple trifectas, exactas.
You can bet
We
there.
did last week. We had Tony Perry Sr. on. That guy at a horse track, unbelievable. You have no idea what he's trying to even bet. It's like this horse is going to break its leg on the third run.
Just hoping for a horse to go down.
Partial wheel tries, all that fun stuff.
Yep.
All right, so the largest trifecta payout.
Largest trifecta payout 2 years ago. A horse named Rich Strike. I don't know if you remember this at the time, but it was a big deal. So was the longest shot at the board at 81.
80-1.
The only time this has ever happened in Kentucky Derby history, by the way. The longest shot on the board came up from the back and won the race. So anyway, I don't know what the finish was in that trifecta, but he finished first. I was not smart enough to make that bet. That $1 trifecta paid $14,870 if you hit that trifecta.
On a dollar bet.
Yep. Now, if you put a $100 bet on that horse to come first, that's what, $8,000 in my math right there. 81, $8,000 on a $1 bet.
That's
or a $100 bet.
That is a solid play right there.
That's a very good play. So you can win some money here this weekend.
All right. So when we're kind of looking through horse races and horses, right? So
Yep.
I think one of the most interesting parts about that is you have your morning odds.
Yep.
Right. So what the horse you can kind of I have no idea how they're even setting those. Like so we're like walking by their training.
They qualify for these races and stake races and stuff like that.
Okay,
So they go around the country knowing these horses come from all over too. By the way, we have one that we're going to touch on from Japan.
Okay.
From Canada, but so they come from all over, but they have to qualify to be in this race.
Yep. So I think we were talking about this before we lost our feed the last time
Yep.
there. So horses in this race, no more than 3 years old.
Yep.
Any other particular restrictions on that?
No, I mean that's basically it. I mean these are young horses, and this is their time. So they call it the Triple Crown. This is the first leg of the Triple Crown they go on through. So this is about that 3 to 4 year, 2 to 4 year range is where these horses make their money.
What do you think of like a Kentucky Derby winner? Like obviously these horses, they're going to want their genetics later on, right? They're going to put them out the stud.
Yeah.
What is it? Do we know what a Kentucky Derby horse winner would sell for?
No, it depends. So just the winner, it's in the millions, obviously.
Right.
A lot more than me and you can probably do. But it depends. If you get a Triple Crown winner, that's when you really made it.
And I think we have there's a couple trainers and some other horse owners like Bob Baffert obviously gets all the all the bad press for Lasix and steroids and everything else with him.
Yep.
I think one of the interesting parts too about horse racing, it's this murky gambling operation, kind of some goofy stuff, but at the end of the day, is it really that murky, Nick? Or a lot of this stuff is actually regulated, right? And self-policed.
It's regulated. It's self-policed. You know what I mean? I mean, you got to fall in line, and if you're going too far and above and beyond, that's when you get caught up.
All right.
So
we got a couple of horses we want to talk about. We also want to pull up a race program for you too.
Pull up race program. I do have the lowest trifecta in that 10 year.
Let's talk about the bad side too.
So the bad side. But it isn't all that bad. So since 2010, the average $1 trifecta ticket paid $4,150. The largest at that time was 2 years ago when Rich Strike won was $14,870 on a $1 trifecta bet. The lowest was a $1 trifecta. I don't have the year, but it was paid out $141.40. So still a pretty good return on investment.
Yeah,
$1 to win $141.
It makes the race a little more enjoyable too, right?
So even if you put $101 bets on different trifectas that could possibly hit, you're still making $41 in the lowest possible payout.
All right, so we'll talk about that because we're going to have to make a couple exactas, a couple tries on here.
Yep.
So just in general, we'll pull this up, right? So a horse program, right?
Yep.
This is if you're going to the OTB or you're doing anything as far as betting, you are going to want the daily program, or that's what they call it, right?
Yep.
You're going to want to find the race. That's the funniest part about the Kentucky Derby, right? Is that race number 1? No, not at all.
You got to be there all day.
Number 12, baby, right? So on here, right? I think a lot of people love to bet, just casual bettors on the Kentucky Derby love a horse's name.
Yeah.
It must be important because they put that in real bold.
Yeah.
So we got horse's name. What else do we have on here, Nick? We got the jockey name, the trainer.
You're always probably looking at, just your average bettor is probably looking at the jockey, who the trainer is. Those are big things. Who they're owned by, their previous races, the previous times. Are they a strong closer? Their in the final stretch that they call it. Are they going to close there? How's their time on that? That's kind of what you're looking for. How much maybe money that they've made and where they've raced at.
All right. So you're also going to get on the far left side. You're going to get the horse's number.
Yep.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, these numbers are all kind of color coded because we just now have all these fancy cameras. But before, you'd have a camera of trying to watch horses from forever away. You got to kind of look at, okay, what's the color? And what's the color of the number? Okay, that must be the number of the horse. And below that, you usually have their opening odds, right?
Yep.
So in this case, Silk Candy looks like it was a 3-1, which
3-1.
is not maybe the favorite, but maybe a close favorite.
He's a contender in that race for sure.
All right. Race number important, just because you want to make sure you're betting on the right race, right? How many when your dad was racing at Balmoral, and we got before they closed that track down on a day, how many races would they normally run?
Oh, anywhere from probably 12 to 14 races a night.
All right. And the Kentucky Derby, that's race number 12. Is there one? Is that one?
They might do one more after.
So 12 or 13
or 14. Yeah.
Lucky number 13.
Yep.
All right. So we got that. We got race class examples. Nick was talking about a finisher, right? So you can look up here. They're going to show, if you guys are looking at this, box 12, 13, and 14 shows what the horse's position was at quarter mile, half mile, right? Kentucky,
times.
And so the Kentucky Derby is 1 1/4 miles, right?
Yep.
So does the horse, is he in 5th place at the beginning and always finishes in 1st?
Yep.
That way you don't have to stress about it when he starts in the middle of the pack.
Yep. Don't worry about the beginning, worry about the end. But
that's where all the money's made at the end, right?
Yep.
Anything else that a casual person opening up a race program once a year should?
You're probably just looking at that. You definitely want to know the trainer, the jockey, especially in these races. These are high volume races, and the experience is always key in these. So you want to look at that. You want to look at their times. Look at where they race. Let you show you the tracks that they raced at, how long those tracks were. So it could be a strong closer on a shorter track. That doesn't mean they're going to be the same on this kind of track. So you want to kind of see if you can find some race that they did on a 1 1/4,
right,
and see how they did.
And then you have other types of tracks too, right? They don't always race on dirt. You have some turf tracks, all that other stuff.
Yep.
And you'd find that in the program too.
Yep.
All right. So we covered how to bet them.
Yeah.
We covered some of the highest payouts, some of the lowest payouts. What else we got? We got some tips maybe here.
Well, let's run down a couple possibly trifectas for the people to do. So
or should we go? Let's go through the lineup of the horses here first, right?
Okay.
So who do we got? We got Dorenroach.
That's Dornock.
Dornock. I can't read.
Dornock.
I thought it was French.
Dornock. Yeah.
I thought it was French.
No.
Sierra Leone.
Yep.
Mystic Dan, Catching Freedom, Catalytic, Just Steal.
Yep.
That's not a recommendation. Don't just steal. All right.
Yeah.
Honor Marie, Just a Touch, Encino. Oh, he scratched already though. T.O. Password, huh? That's a Japanese horse. Looks like maybe.
Could be.
And then Forever Young, Track Phantom, West Saratoga, Endlessly, Domestic Product, Grandmo the First, Fierceness, Stronghold, Resilience, Society Man, and Epic Ride.
So your longest shot on the board looks like your 250 to 1s. I believe they're 2 or 3.
Yeah,
3.
so we got a 50.
So we got West Saratoga will be your 13. The 16, the Grandmo the First, that's a 50 to 1. And then the 20, the Society Man is 50 to 1. Wouldn't bet those, but it doesn't hurt to throw a little money on that.
Maybe drop them in like a little superfecta box or something. Put them in number 4.
I think you could do it at 50-cent trifectas as well.
All right.
Or 10-cent superfectas. So
I think 10-cent superfecta is the normal one.
Yep.
All right. So we got some long shots, right? I think right now coming out of the gate, you got Sierra Leone's at 3 to 1.
Yep. So I got my favorite here. I like the 17 Fierceness.
I like the name Fierceness.
Fierceness. Yep. You're going to have to outbattle this horse at the end. So he's really good at what he does. He plays hard. He's got the 17 hole, which isn't the best hole to have, but it's actually a good position for him. So I think he's going to have a stalking trip, or maybe he's 3-4 wide. That means they're out for the 3-4 wide the whole way, and then towards the end, he's going to be right there, and someone's going to have to beat him at the end.
And I think so. Like, obviously, when we're talking about the number horse, right? So that's where they're coming out of the gate.
Yep.
So 1, they're coming out closest to the rail.
Yep.
And in this case, we're going to have what? Maybe 21 horses.
20 now because
they got a wheelie extension in there to start them out of the gate. Like, could you imagine this being like in this little tiny area on top of a horse that's about to run as fast as it can with 20 other horses. You're trying to hold it in there for 2 seconds.
You know, these horses are jacked up and ready to go. So.
Yeah, they might have sniffed something.
Yeah,
sniffed a little something.
These jockeys aren't even bigger than me. So
that's wild. All right, so Fierceness is one of your top guys.
Yep.
All right.
Fierceness is one of my top guys. I got a couple of horses to watch though here. So
we got the wrong pro. I sent the wrong thing to the producers.
That's all right.
Print.
Tony's 0 for 2 on the day.
0 for 3 with the battery too. It's not been a good day.
So I think you touched on this. So Sierra Leone, he won the Bluegrass Stakes.
Okay.
So he's a horse to keep an eye on. I think he was 3-1. Yeah, I got him as 3-1 in the morning line. I don't know if anything's changed. A little bit of a long shot here, but maybe someone to put in your trifectas. Maybe you want to put a little money in him to win 20-1. I like the 7 horse Anna Marie.
All right.
Another one to put in your trifectas at 10-1 is the 8 horse, I believe. Yeah, so
Just a touch.
Just a touch. So he finished second, right behind Sierra Leone in the Bluegrass.
Okay.
So he can obviously compete and be in the running with him, and he's one of the favorites here. So
all right. So Bluegrass, is that a Kentucky race?
That's a stake race. Yeah.
All right.
A big race.
That's a pretty important one.
Yeah, pretty important one. Yep. So that was important to note. So this brings me to the 11 horse. Is another 10-1. Forever Young is this horse. This is the Japanese horse that we were speaking on before. So Japanese horse with a chance to win here. No Japanese horse has ever won the Derby. They're 0 for 19.
All right.
0 for 19. So we might have our first one here. Wouldn't hurt to put him in your trifectas, superfectas, exactas. Maybe put a little money on him to win here. So he's a good one to touch home on.
As far as a Japanese horse, like, is this horse just born in Japan and brought here early, or are they
basically? Yeah, they race in Japan, and they we go all over the world for this stuff. So we want the best horses to compete in this race.
All right. That's a tough flight for a horse, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, they're used to it, so they make it work.
Do you think they fly first class?
Yeah. All right. So a couple of the horses, Dornoch, the 1 horse, that's a 20-1.
Oh, Dornoch, the French guy.
Yeah, Dornoch. Catching Freedom is 8-1. And this is a long shot that I got here, Endlessly. So Catching Freedom, 8-1. Endlessly is 30-1. I believe where's that?
Endlessly is 30-1. Yep.
Yep. And then what was my other one? I said Catching Freedom. What number was he?
Number 4 is 8-1.
8-1. So these horses are both big closers. So that's what I like. So I don't think they're going to be able to be in the front to contend to win, but they might close in late and take that 3rd spot, take that 2nd spot from somebody late. So those are someone you might want to drop in some of your trifectas that you put. Long shots. So Endlessly is a long shot, but I got Mystic Dan. I think he is the 3 horse. He up at 20-1. I'm not sure about weather, but this horse is good in the rain. So I don't know what the weather's going to be like Saturday. I have not looked it up, but this horse is good in the rain. So
we'll get an answer on that one here real quick.
Yeah, if it's raining, I'd definitely do something with him.
His mother was a mutter, maybe?
Yep. And then you got your 31 Cadillac. I believe that's the 5 horse. So Jose Ortiz is the jockey there. He's got some good tactical speed. So he's a good one to put in there.
So the jockey act, like is it a 50-50 jockey horse? As in, like, who's the most important thing here? Is the jockey the guy? Is the horse the guy?
Yeah, I mean, the race depends on a lot of things. The jockeys there, they kind of know how to steer them. They know how to race them. They know what they're doing. So that helps, especially experience in this race. I mean, this is going to be a big race. We got 20-some horses. All the lights and cameras are on you. You know what I mean? It's a different kind of track. So. But, if you got a jockey who's been there, done it, a proven jockey, he knows how to, say you don't get a good start off the gate, or say you get a bad trip, they call it, what I mean? Maybe you're kind of stuck behind. They can kind of navigate them to get them in spots where they need to be. Not every race is perfect for these horses. So just because of the favorite doesn't mean nothing. They need good trips. They need to be able to get where they need to go to. So the jockeys can help with that. So, yeah, I'd say it's 50-50.
So it looks like we got an 88% chance of rain on Friday.
Okay, so we might have a little bit of a sloppy track. That's
Saturday, about 25% chance.
Okay, so there's a horse to keep an eye on there.
All right. So the finish, like, I guess if you're looking at for a finisher or looking for a horse, right, the track's a little sloppy, that's usually when you're probably going to see a long shot maybe slide into.
It could. It just changes. It changes the track. It changes the race. It changes the whole dynamic of everything. So some horses are better in the rain, some aren't. So it just depends.
It's gonna be a high dry cleaning bill, though, right? Yeah. You see how money those guys get?
Oh yeah.
All right. What else we didn't talk about the Kentucky Derby here, Nick?
So that's about it, man. That's what I got. Not financial advice, but that's some numbers you want to keep an eye on, some horses you want to keep an eye on, and like you said, I mean, an average $4,150 payout and $1 trifecta since 2010. I mean, put a little money on it and see what happens.
So real quick on trifecta, right? So
Yep.
Trifecta, you're betting first, second, and third place finish.
Yep.
And then if you want to box it, so now it's it costs all of those variations. So they don't have to finish exactly first, second, third, however you place your bet. It's all combined. Now that bet becomes more expensive.
It's more expensive, and your odds are higher to win, but your payout isn't as high. But it's still a strategic.
It's a fun way to play, right?
Yeah, that way you don't have to hit it exact, but you're still winning money.
So then Exacta is 2, so 1 and 2, and you can also box that. And then Superfecta, that's one that's what is that one? Well, that's 4. Can you get 4 horses in a row?
But you can do a 10-cent Superfecta bet, and there's decent payouts on that. I didn't do the numbers on that, but we can get that. I would do a lot of 10-cent Superfecta bets along with your $1 trifectas. Maybe put a little money on some of these guys. They're 8-1, 10-1 to win it.
All right.
And there you go.
And away we go.
But 17 Fierceness is my favorite, and he is the favorite as of right now. The morning line favorite at 5-2. I think he's going off on the 17 hole. So.
All right, so we're gonna watch for Fierceness.
Yep.
I think a good description of you as well with that hat.
Yeah.
Obviously, very, very, very fierce.
You need to put a hat on this hair right here. That's tough to do, but I'm all into it.
I had this one's is the top of this hat is as thin as my hairline up top. Anything else we need to cover?
Kentucky Derby wise?
I don't know. Kentucky Derby, business, life.
Well, if someone wins big on this, now they got some money for a down payment and a pre-approval, so they're going to call you on that, right?
They're happy. We can do the math on that.
Yeah.
We can verify that. So don't just deposit the cash. Keep the ticket.
Yeah, don't
take a picture with it.
If you win big on this race, don't keep betting horses.
Enjoy your winnings.
My dad, the jockey, is number one. Everybody asks him, "What's your number one tip?" What do I do? Don't bet the horses.
All right,
that sticks with me. So.
Perfect. Well, we'll just maybe watch Fierceness, cheer on, maybe with a little bit of financial investment on there.
Yeah.
Other than that, anything else going on in real estate world for you?
I think same old stuff. Spring market's here. Everything's moving fast. Houses are selling. Rates are kind of going up and down a little bit, but down from end of last year.
Speaking of horse races, and this will be a good one. I got a great closer for us on this. All right. His mutter was a mutter. I promise. But we feel like Kramer on there. So everyone's concerned, right? Federal Reserve coming out, FOMC meeting today, or they're going to make their statements. Is the Fed going to cut rates? Are they going to raise rates? Are they going to hold them the same? We're assuming there's a 98% chance that there's no movement in the Fed funds rate today. The thing that if you're a consumer right now and you're worried about the interest rate on your mortgage, or you're going to let that determine if you want to buy a house or not, what we want to watch for today in the FOMC notes is if they're going to continue quantitative tightening or balance sheet runoff. So the runoff, right? Erase, right?
Yep.
What happens with the Federal Reserve on this is they are letting these mortgage-backed securities and treasuries that they have on the balance sheet mature, and they're not buying them. They're not putting more demand back in the market for them. And that's one of the biggest impacts of why rates have held up and they've been a little bit sticky here. So we want to wait for Jerome Powell to come out and maybe say that they're going to stop quantitative tightening and they're going to begin to purchase mortgage-backed securities again and purchase maturing treasuries. So don't panic when you hear the Fed kept the rate the same. That doesn't really have as much of an impact on your mortgage rate as them saying we're ending quantitative tightening.
Well, that's good advice right there.
Real technical details. Get the race program out for it. Put all your money on Fierceness. I'm just kidding. Don't actually do that.
We love to know how you guys did on your bets.
Exactly.
Shout us out. Hopefully that works out.
If Fierceness doesn't win, I'll tell you guys where Nick lives.
Yeah. Hey, $100 bet in DraftKings. People do that every day. Take $100 bets. Put it on the trifectas. Flip-flop them.
If you have $100.
If you have $100. Okay, $10.
Yeah, bet responsibly.
Bet responsibly.
We can't stress that enough. We don't want to get in any more trouble on
Absolutely. That. Have some fun with it. The Kentucky Derby's good. The 105th running of the Roses. So it's a big deal.
This is a big one.
We're not lying. They call it the most exciting 2 minutes in sports.
Get your Woodford Reserve out. Get your Basil Hayden. Make yourself a nice, refreshing drink, and have yourself an afternoon.
A couple cigars out and have a good time. So.
And get these hats.
Yeah. Oh, we got to try some apple pies here too. We couldn't end it with that. So which one do you want here, Tony? Right, was it apple and blueberry, I believe.
Yeah, I'll try one of these.
This was made by one of our fan base over there.
Oh, look at
one
this.
Our number one fan, Sabrina.
Sabrina coming through.
You guys are supposed to clap.
Yeah.
Next time we'll just hold the sign up.
Yeah.
Clap.
We'll get that applause sign over here.
Can you do that whenever to like your actual actual producers. So you put things on the screen when you're talking.
All right.
You're like,
Look at that. We're going.
We need some help.
This show is going to be upgraded after we eat these apple pies. These are delicious, Sabrina.
Drinking at 9 a.m., ruining my keto diet for the day. So
Perfect. Well, you're on a keto diet, huh?
it's supposed to be.
We gotta get you bulked up, man. We gotta get like one of them horses. All right, that's all we
Nope.
got. Fierceness for the win.
Yep.
And if he doesn't win, I'll give you guys Nick's address. There you go. Let us know how it goes. And I can't stress enough to bet responsibly. For real, like if you don't have the money, don't bet the money. We'll keep it real about that stuff.
Tony's a little modest. What's your bet? What's your draft games look like?
Don't ask me questions on air like that.
Oh.
My kid's college fund at school. Hey Holden, I hope you like junior college. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys next week.